present, members of staff, hamjambo. Good evening. Karibuni sana kwa hii sherehe.
Tumesema ni hafla ya kipekee hii.
Hafla ya kipekee.
Inafanyika mara moja kwa mwaka ama baada ya miaka 60. 30 mingapi?
34. We're here to celebrate 34 years of Madam Florence Abonyo's service, service to the public, having joined Parliament from the onset at a very young age, and it's a privilege and an honor for myself because I covered you a number of times in a number of committees, so it's also a privilege to be here to celebrate your transition now into other duties. So karibu sana. I would want to welcome Mr. Nicholas Imogen, the Deputy Director, to come and give the welcoming remarks as we try to move the program forward. I know we intended to have begun a bit earlier, and there are other duties and responsibilities. Just looking at the audience here, I can look at the age, and I know people have their own duties and responsibilities that they need to attend to. So we'll try to move the program a bit faster so that we have also enough time to make merry and celebrate what is no mean feat. So karibu sana, Mr. Imogen.
Thank you. Good evening. Habari ya jioni. Habari ya jioni. Bishop. Oh, kwa macho, eh? The chief guest, the clerk of the National Assembly, the deputy clerk of the Senate, directors present, deputy directors, esteemed colleagues, and invited guests. Good evening once again. I'm honored today to welcome you all to this gathering as we bid farewell to our director. And in a special way, I want to heartily welcome our esteemed director, Ms. Florence Atenyo Abonyo, to this evening. We are all gathered here this evening with a rainbow of emotions, as witnessed today in the chamber. And this is to celebrate Ms. Abonyo's incredible journey of passion, integrity, dedication, and service as she retires. You are now getting new tires. You are not retiring, but you are getting new tires. This is a celebration for the 34 years of exemplary service by you, our director, not just to Parliament, but to the nation. Colleagues, Ms. Abonyo has been the backbone of the Directorate of Community Services in the National Assembly for the past 13 years. She's been guiding us through the intricate web of facilitating members of Parliament and committees in their constitutional mandate of representation, legislation, and oversight. And this she has done with unwavering dedication and a vision. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Abonyo has been more than a director. She has been a mentor, an inspiration, and a pillar of support for committee clerks. In fact, for us who are in audit, some of the young ones call her mother. While we are sad to see her retire, we are incredibly grateful for the legacy of excellence that she leaves behind. Madam Florence, or FAA, as someone I'm sure will say about it later, today we are here to celebrate you, your achievements, and the bright future that is ahead for you. Colleagues and invited guests, once again this evening, is a special day as we honor Florence Atenyo Abonyo for the 3 decades of exceptional service and the beginning of the open highway for you to do new things and be a new version of yourself. Ms. Abonyo, thank you for your tireless dedication, your wisdom, inspiration for leading us. We wish you the very best as you trade in meetings for a more relaxing enjoyment of the fruits of your labor. Colleagues, please join me in giving a warm and passionate welcome to our retiring director. And as one writer, Catherine Pulsifer, said, it's now time for you to enjoy all the things that you never had time to do when you worked. And as Daniel Dukari says, stay young at heart, kind in spirit, and enjoy retirement living. We wish you, Madam Director, happiness and success ahead. And welcome all to this evening. Asanteni.
Thank you very much, Mr. Imogen. My colleague Regan takes over from that point.
Tumpe makofi ya kipekee jameni kwa hotuba ya kifahari, hotuba ya kipekee. Asante sana Wanasema chanda chema siku zote huvikwa pete na mcheza kwao hutuzwa. Mengi yamesemwa. Leo hii tumeshuhudia bungeni mambo mengi sana. Sifa kedekede zimetolewa kwa amemuita FAS, ni Florence nani? Yes? Mnaogopa kulisema jina lake? Ana jina nzito, kama hujashiba wachana nalo tu, tutalisema baadaye. Wamesema sifa nyingi sana kumhusu leo hii bungeni, jinsi amewalea watu, amekuza vipaji, amewashika mkono akawakuza, waliofanya makosa akawachuna sikio akawaambia hii siyo njia, hii njia ni hii, na wamemsifia sana. So somebody asked, leo hii ukiondoka, what will they say about you? Hilo ndio swali nzito sana katika jamii na haswa katika maisha ambayo tunaishi leo hii. Yuko hai. Mswahili mmoja akasema Keni walibora nizikeni ningali hai. Tunakuzika mami ukiwa ungali hai. Ndio maana unapatiwa sifa hizi kede kede kwa utenda kazi wako. Kwa maana hiyo, kuna wale ambao walihudumu nao mapema awali wakastahafu. Ninamzungumzia Mrs. Phyllis Makau, former director, Parliamentary Budget Office. Iwapo yupo karibu, naomba nimkaribishe kwenye jukwaa. Makofi kwake jameni, Madam Phyllis Makau.
And as Madam Makau comes in, we recognize the presence of Director in the Speaker's Office, Mr. Steve Opopo. Karibu sana. Apopo, karibu sana.
Karibu sana. Makofi kwa jameni, Madam Phyllis anapokaribia kwenye jukwaa letu. Karibu sana mami.
Asante. Hapa kuko wale wa shikamoo.
Mnasema tu marahaba, si mara saba.
Lakini nafikiria pengine ni moja. So thank you very much. I would take you to where I am so that you teach me the good Swahili. Clerk of National Assembly, Deputy Clerk, Senate, Florence Abonyo, my good friend. They told you you are retiring, you are doing new tires, and you can see from me 4 years down the line. I have new tires and about to put, next year I'll put more tires. Colleagues, former colleagues, thank you very much for honoring me to invite me today. Ile nasema kwanza, sikuandika speech, sababu siku hizi siandiki. Naongea ile experience of many years. So when I stand in different countries, I tell them, this is what should be done. And this is what I used to say, this should be done. So Florence, you're even going to do more difficult work. When I was retiring 4 years ago, that's 4 years. Yeah, I know you are getting a shock. It's 4 years ago. And 4 years ago, I was wondering, okay, I've been sent off, a party was done, and therefore I'm gone. I will sleep and not wake up. But what you don't know, what they are not telling you, when exactly the time you used to wake up, you'll wake up. So you have to find something else to do to fill that time. And therefore, when I packed my bag, and that's why today I've come with one important man with me here, when I packed my bag and told him I'm going to Accra, he was like, "You're sure you're going to Accra?" And when I boarded the flight, landed on the other side, I wondered, where on earth am I going? But that's one thing, that when you're retiring, you're going to better things, more difficult, but you're going to better things. So for one, I came here to welcome you to the club of seniors, Bunge seniors. We actually have a club of Bunge seniors, where we can send each other, WhatsApp excerpts at midnight, because nobody will worry about it. I'm sure there is none here. And we feel very happy. So we'll be welcoming Florence, maybe by tomorrow, to that system. And I can see somebody else has also come to welcome Florence to that team. The young ones who are here, let me say something about Florence. Florence was so committed to the work she did that when we drove from South Sea, because that's also where I was living, the first break on our car was at the gate of Parliament. That showed commitment, and she went to work. Even when it was COVID times, there are some of us who found ourselves in office. The cars didn't know any other direction. Unakanyanga, na unafika. We one day met her with Fred Muthengi, who was what commitment is about. You're just committed to your work. You don't need to get a letter from the clerk to send you there. It is the fact that that's why you wake up in the morning and go there. Down the line. And Munga is here will be saying 5 years down the line, because I just followed her. We are still there. It was because of that attitude that we built when we were there. And that is the attitude Florence built. The attitude of commitment. Not to work because there is a boss up there, but to work because ukikuja, tuende Uguja. Tapita hapo Bongoland kwa nyumba yangu. Tunywe kachai, alafu lale kidogo. We will be very happy there. But Florence didn't only spend our time. That's the message Florence used to tell us. And I'm sure that's one of the things she's going to send you with. Florence at a level of resilience that many of you may not understand how it was. Florence, even in the most difficult times, she will say her mind. She used to be my deputy chair in the discipline committee, the first one which was ever put in Parliament. And she would be there. A few of you may have seen one of you who just missed by whisker of us having to send him home, but somewhere he said he can be reformed. And I was very glad to see him here. He's very reformed, and I can see he is still doing very good work. He knows who he is. I will not say his name. But that was the resilience Florence used to have. And the resilience of working with many parliaments. It's not easy to work with parliamentarians. And for Florence, being in the committee services, where every day would be a day of attack, why not this being done? Your officers are useless, all this. And then, for those of you in committee services, you don't know how Florence used to fight for your training. She used to come with a long list and keep saying, this one hasn't gone for training. And she would not leave the meeting before that has been done. And I thought, what a mother she was. But most of us thought, because I don't know how many of you saw Florence in a skirt. We always saw her in a trouser suit. And today I was waiting to see her in something else. But she's still living to our process. So Florence, we are so happy. We are so happy for you that you are retiring when you are strong and you can join us. We continue putting new tires and continue with our life. We are very happy. And it's good to go home when you are as strong as Florence. Please ask her whether it was the hot water she used to take only, because she never took cold water, or whether it was the fact that she came on time and left on time that has kept her very strong to go home. Lastly, let me say this about Florence. Florence is one person who I'm sure, when given other things to do, she will do it so well. Because I know her of what she can be able to do. With those few remarks, mimi nakwambia, karibu. Twende tukale mali yetu ile tulitengeneza tukiwa mbunge. Sio mali ya bunge, asante.
Ala. Kumbe ndio maana ya kukula mali. So siri ni kuzeeka, uende ukule mali ambayo ulitengeneza ukiwa kijana. Very interesting. Makofi kwake jameni. Kuna jambo amelitaja pale chini kwa chini. She just mentioned something and niliona Clark alicheka, kwa hivyo alishikanisha, alijua nani ambaye anazungumziwa. Na Clark is a busy man. Leo amekuwa Ikulu mapema during the signing of the bills na kwa hapa. Vijana leo ukimtuma mkata kwa duka tu akirudi anakuambia amechoka. Kwa hivyo haizi fanya assignment nyingine. Makofi kwa Clark jameni. Madam Florence, nakumbuka tukiwa Ulinzi Sports Complex. Ulicheza kwa maana ya kucheza na ulidance kwa maana ya kucheza. Kwa hivyo ulicheza mara mbili. Uliparticipate kwenye michezo na vile vile kwenye dance ulisakata. Unakumbuka ulikuwa timu gani? Ilikuwa team white, team red, team black? Alikuwa team gold. Makofi kwa team gold. Kwa hivyo leo hii tunakupatia gold yako ya kustaafu kwa utendakazi mwema na kupenda michezo. Very interesting. Nimekuwa nauliza Chemtai Goin, siri ni nini? Na mami Phyllis ameuliza, ni maji unakunywa kwa sababu huzeeki. Clark anasema kitu.
You must note that she also takes walks over lunch time. Anatembea town kidogo, nyorosha miguu na maji moto pia. Yeah.
Yeye na sherehe hawapatani. Haya, kwa maana hiyo ni nafasi na fursa nyingine ya kumkaribisha kwa ukaribu sana. Ninamzungumzia Mrs. Consolata Munga, former Deputy Clerk Senate. Sio? Yupo karibu, makofi kwake anapokaribia kwenye jukwaa. Atakuwa anatueleza anamjua vipi Madam Florence Atenyo Abonyo. Karibu sana Madam.
I see very familiar faces, people I've worked with for many years, and I feel good this evening. National Assembly. I see the Deputy Clerk of the Senate, the leadership of the Assembly, colleagues. How are you today? How many of you remember Munga? You are many. Yes. I'm Consolata Munga. For those who do not know me, those who came after I'm gone, I've been away for 10 years. 10 years, I left Parliament 10 years ago. That's when I retired. But when I joined the Parliament, the first assignment I was given, I found Florence in that committee, the Public Investments Committee. She was serving the committee with another gentleman who was called Yese. At first, she was not very kind to me, but with time, we developed a very strong relationship that has lasted up to now, and there is a big possibility that it will last forever. I did not know much about Parliament when I came, and now I had to heavily rely on Florence, and I did things so badly. I wrote the first minutes like the secondary school teacher I was, and that is when she asked me, what is this? This is not a secondary school. That's when I thought, oh, where did I come? And that's when I wondered, shall I be accepted here, my good Lord? And then immediately after, the other gentleman who was servicing that committee with her, Mr. Yese, resigned and left. We became so close. We worked so well in that committee. After some time, we were joined by Jengaruge. and the three of us serviced the committee for a long, long time. It is that time that whenever we had to go for report writing in Mombasa, the officers, the clerks, would go by air, but the secretary and the office administrator would go by road with the computers. And I asked Florence, is this what happens all the time? She told me yes. Until one time we went to Mombasa. And then the secretary, the vehicle which was carrying the secretary and her computers and the office attendant was involved in an accident in Voi. Na tumefika. Then another vehicle had to be sent. We waited for 3 days, doing nothing, waiting for the computers to be brought. That is the time to reorder Florence. Why don't we confront the clerk and request that the secretary to the committee comes by air, and then we share this luggage amongst us so that the computers can arrive with us instead of us arriving to wait for the computer. If you go by air, it is 45. On the road, it is 8 or 9 hours. And by the time you arrive again, the computers have to be mounted. It used to take a long time. I liked Florence's bravery. Tukaenda na yeye, akaniambia na niwe utaongea na clerk. That time the clerk was feared. But I think if we went by air with the secretary, we would share this luggage and it would be easier to arrive on time. Therefore, the clerk said, actually, it seems to make economic sense. And that is how the secretaries and the office attendants started going by air. They stopped going by road, and I don't think there has been a reverse of the same. Working with Florence, I can tell you, you have a very, very faithful partner. We used to write papers for those who are going out of the country to go and make presentations, Waheshimiwa's CPA, IPU. When you are the delegation secretary, you are the one who used to organize how your papers are going to be written. And then the clerk would say, give to this member who is traveling with you. And because you cannot write all the papers, whenever it was my turn to go, Florence always wrote a paper for me. The other person who helped me to write is Mr. Bundi. And when it was her time to travel, we would share our papers together, and there were also other people who helped. Later, Mr. Sialai also joined and helped. And we would distribute our papers so that by the time you come to travel, the papers are ready. For a long time, both in committees and in the chamber, we would agree, this time go for me. And next time, or if I'm late, where Badrisha, Ingia, I will come. Or if there is committee of the whole, and you know committee of the whole initially was manual, you had to physically count the members, we would agree that when it comes to the committee of the whole, you will come and assist me. So even down the write-up which we are going to use in the House during committee of the whole. So we have worked with Florence a very long journey in committees. The categorization of committees which you see, I don't know whether you changed them, we did it with Florence. When I became deputy director of committees, and we asked, why don't we divide them into investigatory, departmental, others? That is in year 2008. Is that the year we divided them? Yeah, we categorized the committees into housekeeping, investigatory, departmental. I don't know whether you reorganized that or same categorization. I don't know. But that's the first time that we really organized the committees, and then we would agree that as an officer, if you are serving a departmental committee, you serve one, and then you serve a housekeeping. If you are serving an investigatory were very, very demanding, the public investments and the public accounts. So we categorized the committees, and I was happy with the way we did it. So that is Florence. She'll give you an idea, and then from there, she will also support you to carry on with that idea. Another thing I know about Florence is that she's very brave. Very brave. Early in the Public Investment Committee, You know, the committees used to be held in camera. We had a cameraman, and I was surprised one time we went to Mombasa, and Florence went and covered the camera of a cameraman. She was shown on camera with her own hands, so that in the evening they commented and said, there is a lady in the National Assembly who is not allowing the pressmen to access. But it was a very controversial report, and I liked her bravery. I was in charge of the committee, but I didn't have the guts to go and shut the camera. Ahead, she told me they are not going to take photos. Committee work is going to leak. Niliona mkono mrefu pa akafunika hiyo camera, and they didn't take photos. I can tell you that. So she's a fighter, and when she's given a responsibility, one thing I know, she gives it her all. So for those many years we have worked together. I'm happy, Florence, with the way you have assisted me. I'm happy even when I left, you slipped into my shoes. I was in charge of committees for a long time. Actually, I've floated them to you. And all along, I have heard how you have carried out in committees, and I think everybody here can bear me witness that she has done it to the best of her ability. Now to the clerk, I want to thank you for this gesture. For many years when I worked in Parliament, we did not used to have farewell parties. We used to know that somebody has retired long after the person is gone. Sometimes you would call the office and the secretary tells you, unauliza nani? So you alienda last week. So you alienda sometimes last month. For many years, we did not have to have farewell parties. Now that you have organized and you have personally actually attended, I want to commend you and to say thank you so much that at least you have found it necessary. One feels very valued. Fair? Well, you feel very good, and I'm happy. I even saw in another place when we were saying kwaheri to a deceased officer when we went to her home, I was very surprised that you came with the speaker. And actually, you joined us, and that was the first time I saw, on a sitting day, the first time I saw the clerk and the speaker come to join us in order to condole with the family of a bereaved, actually a retired, but a deceased officer. I want to say thank you. I think Parliament has completely changed from this for the better. Very finally, all these colleagues you see here, you have had an official relationship with them, which kind of comes to an end when you retire. When you leave, they'll be friends, not workmates anymore. We have seen officers sometimes get confused after they retire, and they keep on coming back. Some even want to come and park their vehicles there. You don't belong there. You don't belong there anymore. One officer actually came back to his office for 2 weeks. After he had retired, he kept on coming until we asked him, sir, is there something else you would like us to do for you? Because the new officer is supposed to take this office. And he said, I need a little bit more time. And at the tea time, he's waiting for tea. Now I retire. 2 weeks ago, he's waiting for tea. So Florence, after this Parliament, you have this many friends. You say hello. You can wave them, as I do, as you pass by Parliament buildings. But Parliament now is actually not your place. It was, just like it was to us, and the field is there. But these people will remain your friends. Some will choose not to be very friendly. When you call, they might tell you, please text. There are others, there are others who will pick your call and find out exactly what you want. So if you say please text, don't be surprised. The official relationship you have had with them comes to an end when you retire. And when you leave, you will join us. I'm glad Macau came. You can see us. I don't think we look very bad, isn't it? We may have grown. we may have grown older. I'm 10 years older, from the last time that I worked in Parliament. This year, I'm going to strike 7-0. This year, later in the year. But I still relate with many of you. I'm still training. I still find countess calling me, and I said, oh, I don't know for how long am I going to train. I'd call it a day, but they kept on calling. I told you, Niko area, would you like to come and take a cup of tea? I'm training here. And I keep calling some of you to come, and we train together. In fact, I even called one officer. I don't know whether he's here right now. I called an officer from the aid my rate. Kasema rate yako ni ya juu. Kamwambia yes, because I'm the one who was given the assignment. Where Kamata, they come, we train together, have done a good job. So that next time when I'm called and I'm not available, I ask them, can you go and train this and that group? Without me, you know them, we trained together, and I'm happy and I'm comfortable that even if they trained without me, they will do a good. We are about 120, we are 142 in our WhatsApp group. We help each other. We chat in the WhatsApp group as Makayena, Kina Omolo, Makao, Sialae, Munga, Teach, Mrs. Kamau, Denda. We are all there. So we invite you. Come and join us, and you'll be happy. The thing is that there are no deputy clerks, there are no senior clerks or anything. There are no drivers or office attendants. We chat as equals. We are all equal. Mitao, who worked with me, is there. He throws something, I comment. Jayen is there, he throws something, somebody else comments. We are all equal. When we get or if you pay retro, sometimes you pay. The other day, there is somebody who paid 500 without paying the 30. And there was even one who had not sent, there is one who sent 529. There is one who sent 529. And then, alikumbusho alipe shilingi moja na akalipa. Si alilipa hiyo shilingi moja. Yes, it's a very organized group, and we are a very happy lot there, and we invite you. So to you all, my dear colleagues, the day before yesterday we said kwaheri to Mrs. Munga. Yesterday we said kwaheri to Mrs. Makau. Today we are saying kwaheri to Mrs. Abonyo. Tomorrow it will be one of you. The other day it will be another. And one day, all of you, you will not be in Parliament. You will have gone. Those who served Parliament in the 60s and 70s are all gone. One after the other. Nothing is permanent in life, even life itself is not permanent. So, as we say farewell to Florence, those who are remaining, prepare yourselves, day after day, until your day comes, for us to say farewell. So, Florence, this time I'll say farewell, I'll not say goodbye. I know you meet. I'll come to your house, you'll come to mine. When you come to mine now, I'll come to the kitchen and cook. There, I am not Madam Munga, the senior deputy clerk. Sasa ni shosho, niko na grandchildren. Come and see what we do, and you are most welcome. And with those many remarks, I thank you.
Asante sana.
Allow us to flip the program a little bit. I know everyone is a little bit hungry, but allow us to move the program faster. We will have the Deputy Clerk of the Senate coming up, but before the Deputy Clerk comes in, I know there are a number of individuals that have worked closely with Madam Florence. Winnie, where are you? Winnie? Naserian? Everyone is curious. I don't know, when you had your meetings and your interactions with Madam Florence, what would Madam Director say? What would be the one phrase that you say you would remember?
Thank you. Do not cut and paste. Always review.
Kipchumba, do not cut and paste, always review. And in the era of AI and the digital net, you know what happens with that. Kipchumba, where are you?
Where's Kipchumba? Okay.
And Winnie, there's Winnie.
Wacha tuanze na Winnie.
Madam Florence would always tell you, and she told me today, that you came here to work. Do your work and go home.
Yeah, those are tidbits that maybe there are those that will remember. Kipchumba?
Where's Kipchumba's mama?
Okay, what I remember is live within your means.
Thank you very much. We'll be coming back with a few of you, just also as a breather so that you can cheer up. But at the moment, Mr. Mohammed Ali, the Deputy Clerk of the Senate, kindly come in and give your remarks.
Makofi kwake jameni.
Good evening. Clerk of the National Assembly, our special guest, Madam Florence Abonyo, the directors present, former Senior Deputy Clerk, Madam Munga, good to see you. We love you so much and we miss you. PBO, I never call her name, because you see Phyllis Macau, you see PBO moving and walking. Good to see you again. And the rest of us colleagues, it's great today we are celebrating our colleague. Yesterday, when I met the CNA, he said, are you coming for our farewell party for Florence? I told him it's Ramadan time. I will rather forfeit my iftar and come. Because we really, Florence is not that ordinary officer. I have known Florence since we joined Parliament in 2003 with CNA and the rest of the colleagues, some of them who are here. The commitment to work. What I will say, the razor focus to detail. Yeah? And never giving up on what she does is something that continues to inspire us. Florence Abonyo, since we have worked with her, and since she has worked in the National Assembly, where I was many years now, almost 14 years ago, is that she did a lot of good work for the National Assembly. In terms of commitment to work, that razor blade focus, and the general attitude to excellence. And that's what parliamentary service, and generally the public service, is about. Very few of us and very few public officers will give their best to the institution they work in. But it takes the best officer in public and civil service to do that and to deliver that selfless approach. I know Florence, I was just whispering to her that you may have retired from parliamentary service, but I know she will not retire, because I know the energy of Florence Abonyo. I don't think she will retire. She may actually join Madam Munga tomorrow morning in training and doing other stuff, because that's who she is. I used to drive from South Sea with Florence. Even the traffic officers along Mombasa Road will miss Florence Abonyo. And you know why? Yeah? I haven't seen KBK for some time because I don't take that route any longer. We will really miss you. Anytime you see Florence, today is the present. Tomorrow is a mystery. Enjoy what you do today. And Madam Florence has enjoyed what she did today. And it's my hope, let's be friends, keep friends, even outside the parliamentary service, so that parliament and public service shall not be the only place people talk and meet.
Because you are busy, you decided to drop your other duties. My Muslim brothers and sisters that I see here, thank you very much. I know today is a special day. I mean, this period is a special period. But you decided to honor Atoti today, despite this time. Flo, you know, God works in different ways and has a way of sending a message. Because you retire during the holy month of Ramadan and during the period of Lent. That is good signs that God has good plans for you, Flo. Let me first thank my teacher. Mrs. Monga taught in my high school, and she left just when I joined Form 1. And we used to hear very good stories about you, Mrs. Monga. You joined, I think then you went to Starehe. Did you find Klaxonet there? Klaxonet. Did you like whip him as your student? Because she taught in at Starehe and then Parliament. And seeing you and seeing our Director PBO Emeritus gives us a lot of hope and faith. It tells us there's a life outside Parliament Square. There's a life outside Starehe constituency where we work. And that you can look younger, you can look better, free outside that institution. And thank you for coming. Truly thank you for coming. And you still have great memory. You give speech without any written speech. Madam Makau, asanteni sana. So Muha, because you and I joined at the same time, and Engineer Imogen and others, sasa tuachie wengine in a few years, because you can see there's hope, and there's a life out there. Florence was telling you probably it's because ladies, you know how to take care of yourselves. Sisi wanaume hatujui. Maybe that's why you look better, looking younger. Because Mrs. Monga, at 70, you don't look any 70. Mungu endelee kuwabariki na kuwapatia nguvu. And thank you for the good comments about the changes in the institution of Parliament. The Parliamentary Service Commission is trying. And the book was, because it will end someday. But for now, Flo, we came to celebrate you. To celebrate the service that you gave to the institution of Parliament. I bring the farewell message of the speaker, how you worked together when his blessing to attend. The last sitting we had this evening was the Staff Welfare Committee of the Commission. And Commissioner Faith Gotao, who is a chair, asked me, ukienda, mwambie Florence sitaweza, naenda mahali ingine, but she has our blessings and wish her well. Flo, you have mentored many people, you have taught. I like what that gentleman said, because you kept telling us also that we must learn to live within our means. I remember that white car, it was a KAQ with ilikuwa ile gari ya kubeba Mira Mohammed, you know, ile Mira. That was her beautiful car when we joined the institution. It's always very neat. It was always clean. I never saw any other person driving that car. I doubt you ever shared with anyone. You were very meticulous and careful. And then the Harrier came, the blue one. I vividly remember where you used to park it until you went to the other side. I recall during our induction time, because Mrs. Monga, JN, yourselves, others who were in the induction team, you kept reminding us that we must stay within our means. And Flo, you told us that you keep your money in envelopes. Your dance, I didn't get an opportunity to give you a dance. We tried one time. We were sent for training in the US Congress. It was myself, a director, Yetich, who has since retired. I think there was born in Nairobi. There was Gazemba. George, are you here? There was Gazemba. And we tried cornering Florence to take her to Shooters. There's a place called Shooters in Washington, D.C. It was nice. Shooters. There's a place called Shooters in Washington, D.C. It was a nice place. Mohammed, were you with us? That attachment. Yeah, but Flo kept ducking us, and we didn't get the opportunity, Flo. I'll say many things about that period, but you are our lead that time, and you indeed took good care of us while in DC. Flo, because you are firm, you are of great courage, and you demand fairness, because you are a fair person. It's possible that during your time, you crossed paths with colleagues, probably some in this room, others may not be in this room, maybe yours truly, and possibly members. I plead with you to forget it, because that was simply work. And firmness sometimes makes us attract responses that we did not deserve. So if we ever made you get depressed, Flo, either myself, my predecessor, Michael Sialai, Mr. Bundi, Clark Nyegenye, forgive us, Flo. We didn't mean it. I say that, Flo, because I'm the one in office, and sometimes in course of duty, we cause people to get angry when we don't intend to. So find it in your heart to forgive us. Find it in your heart to forgive any other of my predecessors who may have crossed your path, because that's the right thing to do. We are told that bitterness and anger only makes you carry a burden. And there's no better thing, there's no lighter thing than forgiving, because when you do that, you become lighter. The people who carry the burden is those who made you angry. So naomba hiyo dadangu, utusamehe, wasamehe. Pili, you have traveled, Flo. You have traveled. I'm sure if you count the number of countries you've been to, they cannot be less than 50 during your time. And some you have traveled more than once, others twice, others thrice. You have trained many officers. You have inspired many. Take the positive things that you did, the joy that you caused on others, the happiness that you caused, the happiness that you found in the institution. Let that be the memory that you walk away with. Once in a while, we reach out, because you and I, we are friends. I call you Atoti. Please call me Njoro, the way you used to, those days. I like it when we refer to each other on friendly basis. And reach out. There are a number of unfulfilled promises that we made, unfulfilled promises that my boss, the speaker, made, but he hasn't fulfilled, and you know we are walking that path. And we'll continue talking and engaging, because we are friends, as Mrs. Monga has said. I know there's one personally I didn't fulfill, nita fulfill tu, ile tuliongea kama tuko Cape Town the other day. We'll try even as you are out, because we will also join you out there someday. For some of us, probably sooner. So farewell, my sister. Farewell, Atoti. I will miss that extension again. The beauty of it all is that because you are a good trainer and you are an extraordinary lady, you have trained people to be able to continue with your duty. You have trained engineer, Imogen. You very well, am I right, engineer? Mrs. Munga, when you left, this man became an engineer. Yeah, he was conferred that by the Engineers Board of Kenya. You have trained Kina Oscar. Wapi Oscar? Yeah, good. Trained Oscar Nabulanda, not yet engineer, but headed somewhere. There. You have trained Kina Wasike and other seniors there. I see a friend Kinan, Kina Lea. You have trained officers who can now be able to run the institution. And that is great flow. So duty will continue because the gentleman who spoke there said, Fanya kazi alafu. It's you, Nuri. She said, Flo, use Fanya kazi, do your work and go home. Yeah. So we'll live to remember that, Flo. So it is farewell for today, my sister. Continue dancing and staying young. I think when you joined the institution of parliament, I was trying to remember where I was in 1991. Is there anybody in this room who that time in 1991 was in college? You know, mkono. Ada Rafkirui, Daktari, Flo, angalia nyumbani watoto. When you joined parliament in 1991, 90% of this room was either in secondary school, a few. The majority were either in primary school, nursery, or not born. And you have served, you have mentored, and left without a scandal. Without a scandal. So it's God's blessings. Mohammed must have been somewhere in Arabia Primary School. Without shoes, I was somewhere in Gashie, also in primary school. And it's God's work. So Flo, asante sana for giving us an opportunity to celebrate you, because you had a choice of saying no. You had a choice of saying you don't want us. But thank you for accommodating us and for giving us an opportunity to celebrate your retirement from parliamentary service, not from this earth, not from work, from parliamentary service today. Make that call. If we don't pick, if we do the text, forgive us. Insist, Flo, because you are very insistent. Insist. Knock, and the door will be opened. Thank you very much, MC. Once again, and everybody who came today, asanteni sana for leaving your duty to come and honor this great lady. Asante sana. May God bless you.
Kwa hivyo, Bwana Clark, asante kwa hotuba yako ya kipekee. Nitaomba usalie papo hapo. Najua bila muhuri wako, imagine without your signature, hata singekuwa na MC event. Kwa hivyo, asante sana. Kwa maana hiyo, naomba uchukue fursa hii kutukaribisha kwa chajio. Watu waende wakafurahishe tumbo, wakatuliza akili na mawazo. Kwa maana ya dina. Chajio. Chajio ni kwa ufupi. Wakaribisha kwa chakula.
Haya basi. May I therefore, in honor of Florence, invite all of us for dinner. Is there any order other than the bride of the day? We start with the bride of the day. Our seniors here, Mrs. Monga and Director Macau. Tuende tuchukue chakula, tukuje so that we can toast. Flo, I got an XO cognac for you. For you. So, karibuni, dinner is served. May I request we do it fast, tuchukue chakula turudi, so that then we can continue with the rest of the program.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Njoroge. And as the clerk said, let's make haste so that we can finish the program as soon as possible. When we come back, we will move on with the cake cutting, and also so that the chief guest can also give us her speech of the day. Then we will all be free to depart. So please, once the front row has picked their meal, we just follow in that order in the rows that we've set. Thank you very much. DJ, tuweke kidogo mziki as the team goes to have their meal. Tukipata tayo nyimbo ya toti kidogo ikachangamsha watu as we get our meal. Thank you.